had no idea, and I don't know how I didn't know this, but I didn't realize that Abraham Lincoln was buried in Illinois. Well, and so what you're talking about is that when I was a kid growing up, my dad was a civil servant. When we would go on vacation in the summer, we would load the car up and hitch the trailer to the back, and we'd go on a road trip, right? And we'd go west more often than not because we lived in El Paso, but a few years we would go east. Sometimes we would kind of go northwest up into some of the national parks, but it was a road trip. And so when it was time for me to start taking my own kids on vacation, the road trip part of it stuck with me. I did once, and that was to suboptimal results. But we do, I'll just sort of pick a general direction that I want to go, and maybe some event or some relative we're going to see along the way. And then after that, it's just a matter of, what does that part of the country have to offer? And along the way, I learned something. I had no idea, and I don't know how I didn't know this, but I didn't realize that Abraham Lincoln was buried in Illinois, in Springfield. And so as I'm looking at what to do in Springfield, I realized, oh my gosh, Abraham Lincoln. So I had already taken my kids to see where John F. Kennedy was laid to rest. Okay. So one of my daughters, the one who's in Scotland, is like, well, Dad, how many presidents have been killed while they were president? Not just died, but actually been killed. There have been 4 of them, right? And she's like, well, I'm halfway through the assassinated president final resting sites. I'm like, I'm not sure that's a collection. Right. So, just the thing about actually getting in a car and driving, like I told you when we were talking earlier, there's a lot of downtime, and you just have to make the best of it as a family. You have to talk or share decisions about music or whatever. And then you see a lot of places you're never going to see if you just fly to your destination.
Subscribe to Business Decoded podcast on all of your favorite podcast platforms.